This part of the Utah BDR carries a different kind of history. North of Moab and the Colorado River, the landscape opens into old mining country where coal camps, uranium claims, and abandoned roads still mark the desert. Pretty cool, the railroad ties are keeping it together here. Day 6 of our trip had us moving to places that feel quiet now but not empty. The remains are still here, scattered across the flats and tucked into the canyons below the Book Cliffs.
Just remember when you get at the top of the hill to turn your rear locker off.
Sago Ghost Town sits at the mouth of Sago Canyon, where a coal camp once grew into a small, working town. Not far from town, the walls of Sago Canyon hold something older still. Barrier Canyon-style pictographs, Fremont figures, and later Ute carvings stretch across the rock, layering thousands of years of history, of human presence, into the same canyon that later held miners and their families. Stone walls, weathered timbers, and the remains of mining structures still stand beneath the cliffs. In the early 1900s, families lived and worked here in the narrow canyon shaped by coal, rail, and isolation. By the middle of the century, Sago had faded out, leading the canyon to wind, silence, and time. Farther south and east, the route crosses into Utah's uranium country. At Yellow Cat, the desert is scattered with the remains of the Cold War boom. Ore hoppers, rusted machinery, tailings, and abandoned camp debris still sit out in the open ground. In the 1950s, this district was one of the most productive uranium fields in the region, shaped by the rush for atomic material and the promise of quick money in a remote country. What remains now feels brittle and exposed, with old industrial relics set against slick rock dust and empty sky. The last stop is even quieter, an old miner's uranium claim marked by little more than the weathered remains and the trace of hard use sits out in the desert like a footnote of that same era. These small claims are scattered all across this country during the boom years, worked by men chasing ore through harsh ground and long distances. Workshop type stuff here. Most are forgotten now, left to rust back into the landscape. But standing here, you can still feel what drew people out into places like this, the promise of something hidden below the surface and the willingness to endure hardships to find it.